Welcome back to Bally Poker Live here at the Commerce Hotel and Casino. Today we have a very special episode. You can see that we are playing now at night at 7 p.m. on the West Coast for the World Series of Poker Circuit Mini Main Event Final Table. 10 people remain.
No.
71 players came back from 5 flights over the last 3 days.
I'm cooked.
These 71 players are now whittled down to 10. You can see the chip counts here. Alexander has 7,385,000 chips. I believe right now they're playing at 600 or 6,000, 12,000.
Thank you.
Blinds with a big blind ante. The payouts, everyone is reaching for glory. They want to don on their finger the Wsop gold ring and take home just shy of $77,000. You'll see we have a mix of players, both professional and recreational. Yalya folds there in the +1.
Wow, what a final table.
Sorry, we are actually playing 50,000, 100,000 with 100,000 big blind ante.
We want to bust out the first hand.
Right?
Alexander is sitting with 74 big blinds.
Yeah, in some ways.
He is deep. He has a commanding lead. Most of the other players are sitting between 20 and 30 big blinds, 20 and 25 big blinds. No one wants to bust out on hand number 2. That's what one of the players told me. They said they'll do it on hand number 1, but not hand number 2. George is going to take his time. It looks like he's going to open here. In early position, just a min raise with pocket 7s. David right behind him has ace, queen offsuit. David only has 22 big blinds behind. I could see a jam here. He is going to put in a 3-bet to 475,000 chips. He still has a little bit of wiggle room if he just gets called. Evan right behind him, World Series of Poker bracelet winner, has ace jack, the ace jack of hearts. And he has decided that his hand is definitely not good enough to cold call, and he has put in a cold 4-bet to 750,000 chips. He is really going after David. This is an extremely strong range. George likely, though he is the best hand, probably just has to get out of the way. And Evan is going to get David's ace-queen to fold. And it's really the only better hand that he's going to get to fold there. Chalk it up to a good read or just a luck of the cards going that way. But that was a successful bluff. Cold 4-bet bluff. It's going to be hard for David to have any wiggle room with Evan on his left. Norman, who I believe is one of the shortest stacks at the table, has gone all in, and Tianla looks down at 2 aces. On the dealer button, he's taking his time. Almost 13.5 big blinds. He's just going to call, hoping that someone has a decently good hand behind him that overcalls. But everyone knows what that is. Let's see hand number 3 if we can get our first knockout. Norman's King 10 offsuit versus Tianla's pocket aces. Norman's got the bag on. He's already taken off the microphone. Looking for a quick exit. There's a 10. He's going to need a king or a 10 to stay in this tournament. That's some paint, but it is not a king. He's really asking for his one time, but the dealer will not give it to him. Tianla's going to win 3 million chip pot here.
I'm going to look that one up later.
What?
I'm going to look that one up later, see if he made the
And we are now down to 9. If we keep seeing hands like that, we will have a very quick final table. The lines have now gone up to 60, 120, 120, big blind ante. Let me remind you, everyone that's listening, that this is a WSOP event. A ring will be won, and it will not be chopped. We are playing down to 1 player tonight. Magoo is on the button, and he's going to fold the Octo Crab, which I read is actually not in. I learned that today, that it's not in many charts. It really depends on who you talk to. And Yalya is going to let George have a walk. You know, 18, 17 big blinds is not an easy stack for a recreational player to play. They feel like it's too much to shove in a blind versus blind situation without something good. And really, the hope is for someone like Yalya is to ladder up, right?
River is 240,000.
Or catch heat.
Yes. 8-9 fold.
Evan has raised here in first position with 2 kings. goo is out of the way. Yaya will also fold. See what George wants to do here with ace-jack offsuit in the small blind. George is going to get away from it smartly. David in the big blind will have to continue here in some fashion. David is only sitting on 15 big blinds. I don't think he generally wants to play too many pots early versus Evan. But this hand is definitely way too strong to fold to even an under the gun raise. He's going to hope for some hearts or the nuts. And the nuts will come. And this is going to be, in all likelihood, a disaster for Evans standing here.
So invest 135,000.
Now David should know that this under the gun range is very tight, contains lots of sets. Some two pairs, like queen 9, queen 10. This may slow down the action a little bit. Evan is going to try again to eke out some value. He goes all in. David snap calls with a straight. Evan's going to need a 9 or a king to fade this flop straight at David. It's not going to come. David Uvadov is going to double up here. He is now up to 3.3 million chips. Evan takes a little hit.
I think it's $1 million something, but okay.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's $1,065,000.
Sorry.
Yeah.
365. You said 10, right? No, I said 9. But it is 65.
It's done.
65. You got it right.
Only 4 hands in, and we have a knockout, and we have a double up from David. Evan, though, still very comfy. Has about 34 big blinds left. T. Anla's going to fold from middle position with his ace-5. George on the button is going to relinquish his 6-3, and we're going to see some blind versus blind poker. David in small blind has king 10.
It's a fault.
Evan has picked up another fantastic hand. Ace Queen is going to raise this limp. This is not going to be a hand that Dave folds, that he limp folds. Sure, Evan could be doing this with a lot of different offsuit hands.
Yeah, money for calculator.
1.1 million in the middle, going to a flop. David once again flops 2 pair. Evan does have some gut shot equity, but he is not in good shape. David is running hot early. It's going to go check, check. Wondering if Evan wants to start very thinly value betting his queen. He is going to check this one back, check at his cards. And the jack comes. Evan is going to win this. And there's nothing really David could do. There is a straight on the board. I think most of the time here, David's just going to bet small fold or check fold. That's what he's going to do. He's going to block bet. I guess it's a little bit bigger than a block bet. Evan's going to obviously raise here. And they both have a decent amount of ace-X in their range. It'd be very, very hard for Evan to find a bluff here. So any raise is probably going to get folded.
Seven raises. 1.175.
The bet is 1.175 million chips. David is wondering if he's trying to get him off a chop here. David rightly folds that.
Should I tell it 2 raises, gentlemen? 4. Stacks.
What's up, YouTube chat? You guys are a lot meaner than than everyone else, than the cash game people, but I absolutely love it. I'm here for it. Let me tell you, I had a bowl of Korean soup before I got here. I have 2 nicotine patches on. I'm juiced up. How y'all feeling? I might need medical attention at one point, but right now we're good. Thank you, Emma Sandberg, in the chat for bringing some decency. Tianla is going to open early position with his king-jack offsuit. Magoo is going to get out of the way. Magoo, out of everyone sitting at this table, has the most live tournament wins. Excuse me, the most earnings. He is not seeing that grid of cards, so he hasn't played the first 7 hands. Alexander has just called here from Tianla's open with his ace-5 of diamonds. To the flop we go. Tianla's gonna flop top pair. Alexander has nothing more than a backdoor wheel, backdoor Broadway, and a backdoor nut flush draw. Tianla's going to c-bet here. Yeah, I don't think he can float from an early position raise. Alexander's just going to give that one up. Hey, Eric in the YouTube chat. I don't know about the main event next week, but I'm sure the final table will be live streamed. If they're doing this one, they'll probably do that one. Who knows? Maybe you can go on a deep run. Why don't you fly out here, come out to Los Angeles, or more importantly, the most beautiful city in the world, Commerce, California. Come play the main yourself. Yaya's going to pick up a hand that he likes to play. It's going to raise to 250,000 chips with the ace-10 of diamonds. Evan with his ace-5 is thinking about what he wants to do. Hey, Kiwi Special, good to see you. And Eva's going to put a 3-bet in here with ace-5 off, just not good enough to call. Let's see if Yaya wants to fight back. He is just going to call here. And he's going to have about a pot-size bet. So likely you were just going to see an all-in. Evan has flopped middle pair. Let's see if he thinks that's good enough for value. But Yaya's going to lead 7-4-5. Not a terrible move as the caller. Oh, with a half pot bet size here. Evan should know that Yaya is not trapping any hands. Doesn't have a good enough hand to trap. At deeper stacks, I like this play. Evan goes all in. Just with an SPR of 1, I'm not the biggest fan of it. And now at this point, it's 1 million to win 4.5 million. I think Yaya stepped in it. He is going to put it in. Save a 10 coming. We're going to have our second player knocked out. There's a 3. Now a 6 or a deuce could come. There will be a chop pot. 10, 6, deuce. And there's another 4. Yaya has been eliminated in 8th, in 9th place. Evan has reclaimed some chips that he lost earlier.
Okay.
No problem, no problem. Thank you.
We got the phone here, and they're going to come around and get the radio. So we will.
All right. Upstairs or here? Yeah, okay. Yeah. No.
Okay. All right, well, thanks.
What's up, chat? I am a total liar. We have 7 players left.
Nine point.
Yo, I like your outfit. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I played one end really bad.
7 players to go. Magoo with just under 10 big blinds, $10,000 locked up. You know, this is an extremely top-heavy payout structure. If you go out now, you get $10,000, and if you win, you get $75,000 or $77,000. Tianla is going to open his 10-4 off. To 320,000 chips. Magoo now has to decide. He might have a shred of fold equity. I mean, king high should be good enough to get in. He is just going to call in position, believing that he does have a little bit of skill edge. Ace 4-3. Tianla should know that Magoo probably doesn't have many aces.
Too bad, 225,000.
third pot sizing from Tianla. The Goo is reaching for chips, counting out his stack behind. I don't really see the merits in calling unless you think you can get Tianla off everything but an ace. Good fold. So yeah, a lot of the short stacks right now, I mean, normally the pressure is on them, but it's even more when the payout jumps are this big. But of course the goal is to win the tournament, to win the ring. And that is not going to happen unless you take significant gamble. Eric in the YouTube chat says, producer, are you playing the main next week? And no, I don't play poker. I don't know how to play. By the way, there are 18 rings available here at the WSOPC stop at Commerce Casino. It runs all the way to Tuesday, November 25th. Alexander is open early position with 2 5s. Michael is smooth called here with his ace-jack suited. Giving David the chance to get in on the big blind with 10-9 of diamonds. David's flopping pretty good today. Middle pair with a flush draw. Michael does have top pair. There's not going to be much for Alexander. Even though he does have a heap load of chips, he is playing monkey in the middle between two people. He's going to check it through. Michael still has the best hand here. He is in ultimate position. Now he says to himself, it is a very good time to start value betting my ace, even though the board has gotten a little dicey. Interesting decision from David. David is just going to fold his third pair with a flush draw with Alexander behind. Michael's going to win this 1.6 million chip pot. I tend to agree there with Eric in our YouTube chat. But I do think that David folded because he did have a player behind, but the player did check twice.
580.
We raised to 580.
And Magoo is going to go to 580,000. He's all but all in. He's going to have about 50% pot if this goes to the flop heads up. But no one is going to take the bite. His king 7 is going to get through. I agree with you, James McCarthy. Alexander's hoodie is awesome. You really could find, I mean, this is Los Angeles, though, slightly higher class. We are in Commerce, of course. And you are going to find the most fashion-forward people in the universe here. Tianla picks up Queen 5 of clubs. And he does want to put as much pressure as he possibly can on some of these mid stacks. Players in the blinds like Evan and Alexander. Alexander does have Jack 5 of hearts. He's going to defend it. Three diamonds, 10, 4, 6. Should be an easy C-bet and takedown for Tianla. Though he is pretty deep with Alexander, still this board is going to favor Tianla just a little bit more. 10, 4, 6 monotone. Alexander is going to fold. It's these little pots that will determine who wins this tournament.
Thank you.
And we do have the J Flats of Wheel of Fortune fame in the chat right now saying loving this Sunday tournament coverage. Jay, I can't believe you're not hopping in here playing this mini main. Why didn't you play it for your chance at the $77,000 first place?
Yeah.
Jay's got FOMO. Dude, why don't you swing through? Hop in the booth with me. Let me tell you, Kiwi, that Hank the Tank, our producer Hank the Tank, is looking pretty damn snazzy today. He's got a t-shirt and jeans on. David has picked up 2 10s.
150,000. Seven fold. Yeah. 8 fold.
Michael behind him is going to have 2 kings on the big blind. This is a very, very underbluff spot when Michael's going to come in here and move all in. Oh, the all in might get a call. He does. Michael is at risk here, though he does hold the better hand. 2 kings versus David Uvadov's 2 10s. 4.1 million chips.
Find out soon.
Just around 35 big blinds. In the middle.
You got it.
9-3 deuce. There's going to be no help to David. Michael is still alive for now. 2 hearts have come on the flop, and no one has a heart in their hand.
Freedom, please. Yeah. You can count the camera.
Michael has to fade a 10 or only a 10. So he can keep his seat and his hope alive in this tournament. Ace on the river is no good for David. Michael's going to double up. And round and round and round we go.
Yeah.
Forgive me there. David was at risk there.
Yeah. He has less than 2 million.
I thought David had a scotch more than 2 million, but I was wrong. David Uvadov has been eliminated here
Break,
in 7th place.
Is this going to be like a little 6-minute break, guys, so don't go too far?
6 minutes?
Baby break.
We're going to go on a baby 6-minute break. David's going to take home $10,356 for all of his efforts. And with 6 left, we're going to take a 6-minute break, and then we're going to be back 6-handed.
Is there?
You can leave it at your table if you want. I mean, you got it all already now.
Tianla's still dominating the table.
5-minute break.
He has 71 big blinds. Magoo, just 7.8 when we come back.
You know how to mute it?
And the payouts are going to get bigger now. Oh, what's up, Twitch chat? Usually the Twitch chat is humming, but today it's quiet. But Raw Authentic asked me what the buy-in was. This buy-in was $600 over 5 flights, multiple day ones. 71 players came back this morning, and now 6 remain. There's a look at those pretty rings. We have already lost multiple players already within the first hour, first 20 hands. If you want a really fantastic soup, go to a place called Sun Nang Dan. That's what it's called. In Koreatown, I had the beef rib back soup. It was tasty and complete. I loved it. Just as much as Tianla loved his aces holding up versus Norman's King 10. Twitch chat, I know you guys are going to be popping off. I'd like to ask the producers right now, who wrote this song? This song is pretty tight. I kind of sing it in my, in my sleep sometimes. I like hanging out. I go, I bob my head a little bit. You guys doing the same? I feel that. Now, I'll tell you guys, I really do love watching live poker happen. I love the people. I love the stories. But there is nothing, and the longtime YouTube chat people of this show will know that there is nothing more special in this universe than the eternal bond between Hank the Tank Poker and Kiwi Special. Sparks are flying. Sparks are flying through the interwaves, all around the world, to New Zealand, to Los Angeles, down the I-5, off the Washington Boulevard exit. Hang a Louie, go into the parking lot, go to the cage, get some chips, maybe try to find true love. We know Tianla did. So if anyone's watching that usually watches the show, what do you guys like about tournament poker that is different from cash poker, whether you're playing or watching? I'd really like to know. What about y'all in the Twitch chat? I know Eric's got an idea in the YouTube chat. I just want to invite everyone right now to picture whoever recorded this song and whoever's playing bass synth and how much they're rocking out right now. I mean, just completely jamming. I mean, he might have even been a late addition to the song, like a fourth or fifth overdub. And he's just like, I'm making this whole thing move. Yeah, whoever made this song was having a good time. They're like, these dudes are playing poker in some weird, like, post-apocalyptic sort of bliss space. Somewhere in between Pluto and the next galaxy. And just vibing, hanging out, chilling. Even in 1,000 years, when everything's gone, when poker's gone, they're still going to have session drummers like this. In between Pluto and the next galaxy. Just keeping it real easy. Maybe I'll start practicing now. Yeah, I'm just dancing in the booth right now, of course. Of course, it must be because I have an extra nicotine patch on. Because usually I'm in bed by this time. So I needed a way to stay up. And we are back. Thank God they did not have a video camera in the booth here. I was dancing like Mick Jagger for 6 minutes to the theme song.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We are back. Tiana's in the chip lead with 72 big blinds, over 8.5 million chips. Sixth place has locked up almost $14,000. Let's see if Magoo can make it spin. The blinds have shot up now to 100,000, 150,000 with the big blind ante. George has picked up 2 queens.
See if I just look 300,000.
He is going to min raise to 300,000. And Evan is going to look to see that George has about, not really great at math, but is it 12 to 13 big blinds? Maybe a scotch more. And look what we have here. Evan has flattened in the cutoff, and Alexander has picked up kings. There is no shortage of coolers going on today. We have a 3-bet to, I think, 1.2 million chips. We are going to very, very soon say goodbye to George.
1.2.
This is not a hand that he can fold for 15 big blinds. He's just going to have to stick it in. Let's see how long he waits to do it. There he goes. George is all in. And at risk, Evan gets out of the way.
Good luck, guys. Oh, God.
Brownie, I will get to your question in a second. Let's see what this flop is. Queen! Queen on the flop. George is going to stay alive if he can fade a king. Oh, the gods are cruel. Oh, the gods are nasty, and Alexander is just shaking his fist at the air. Ace on the river is not good enough.
Nice hit.
And he is wearing what looks like a mugshot of Angelina Jolie. Maybe today.
Yeah.
Luckily, you still have a whole lot of chips, buddy. Now, I understand as a competitor, you have to wear a shirt like maybe today.
That should be 23.
Yet at the same time, the gods do look down upon those with too much hubris, right? Like, look at Michael in his paisley shirt. He's not pissing anyone off, you know? It might be a statement, but he's not pissing the gods off. Unfortunate run out for Alexander. George is going to double up. He's going to move into second place. And here we go. The merry-go-round goes round and round and round. The roller coaster goes up, the roller coaster goes down, and we are all still here on solid ground for now. So AZ Brownie asked me, why don't you count the big blind Andy when you say the number of big blinds left? Because big blinds is just an amount, 150,000, right? So if you have 1.5 million, you just have 10. You don't have 9 in a big blind ante. If that answers your question at all. Alex is going to pick up another pair now. He has 2 6s in the cutoff. And he's going to raise to 350, 325, 350, 375. There are 3 chips there. 375,000 to go. Let's see if Magoo is going to take this one to the house. If he just wants to call and jam flop. This might be the best situation he sees for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah.
With a very late position open. Him with 2 connected cards.
Hey, I got like the nicest phone I've ever had.
Yeah, that's it.
Magoo is going to call.
It's like the most expensive thing I own.
If he flops 10, he's going to lead. He's going to lead all in.
C3 on you.
There are a bunch of draws out there, flush draws and straight draws. That Alex facing, I believe, a 40% pot bet, probably has to call at some frequency, right?
That's it. Thanks.
Magoo is just going to get that bluff through. And Modi 3069, no one hired me. I broke into the booth, slapped on a nicotine patch, and said, let's go. James, I would beg to differ because he got a better hand to fold. Alexander has raised here in the hijack with Jack 10 of hearts. And Tianla sitting right behind him with the Ace 3 offsuit. And once again, Tianla's going to take one of these offsuit ace hands, ace rag hands, and 3-bet it. Alexander thinks his hand is a little bit too strong, too fold. Hoping for a good flop. Not much more than a pot left. He is going to flop top pair, 10-5-3 with 2 clubs. Tienla's going to have bottom pair. Tienla staring at his chips. He's going to go for a C-bet. And this is in all likelihood going to be check jammed on. That was a very interesting sound. You can see that our sound people are some of the best in the business. They can really capture any sound that's going on in the studio. We don't shy away from any of the sounds.
Now you're just showing off. 0.675.
175,000.
What?
500.
2.675.
This is 1, 2, 2 million.
2.675.
Yeah, 2.675.
What do I have?
Tienla does not like this. Sitting with bottom pair. Holding a club in his hand. Tienla has put in the call here. He's going to need an ace or a 3 to improve, or running clubs, or running 4 deuce to knock out Alexander. There's the deuce of clubs. That is going to give him a lot more outs. Any 4, any club, any ace, any 3. And the 7 of hearts is going to double up Alexander. That is a sweaty, sweaty turn card.
A lot of outs on the turn.
Someone knew.
How you won that?
That was a shitty
I
turn.
don't know how you won that
I
hand.
think he was ahead on the turn.
Someone at the table knew that that turn card was crazy. Wendell Cook 1764 says, glad it's not smell-o-vision. That's funny. That's funny. I laugh. That's funny stuff. So where's everyone in the chat coming from? Irvine? Santa Clarita? Magoo has ace king. He's going to move all in. Just about 8 big blinds.
All in.
There he goes. George has the fun hand, but it's not fun in this tournament.
That is hard to do right there. Years of practice.
Evan has folded the 9-8. I think he would probably have to call if it were 6 big blinds or 5 big blinds. Magoo's just going to take that one, get a little chippy, move up to about 12 bigs. Try to spin it. Magoo this time has picked up 2 sevens in the cutoff. It's 12 big blinds, too much to rip. He is effectively going to go all in, going 1.5 million, leaving a few chips behind.
No. 1.5, he raised to 1.54. No.
Hey, this card's really messed up.
Oh, this
You know? Yeah. With the corner.
Yeah. Okay, 7-4. 8-4.
It's not the type of card I would think someone would mark, so that's a good thing.
And that raise from Magoo is going to get through, which is probably something he says to himself before he plays every day in the mirror.
That was a deuce. Thought it was good.
You know, and sometimes at these tournaments, you know, your nerves could really, you know, pop up, and maybe some gastrointestinal issues could also surface. And it also could be a tactic to tilt your opponents. I've seen everything.
5-4.
Evans going to raise on the button with 9-8 offsuit. Alexander's going to look at his cards and fold.
8-4. 9-4. Everybody.
Michael will not defend his queen six. Now, someone may later tonight be giving a speech at the end of the tournament. Say, what do you owe this to? And they might just say gas. I owe this all to gas. Here we are on to hand number 22 of the night. Magoo has picked up a pair again in early position. And he's just going to let that one go. I guess for Magoo, that's probably just a jam at his stack depth or a fold. And he is very, very confident in his post-flop ability. It's the only thing that I could gather there, that why he didn't just jam that. That he really just doesn't want to run into it and wants to protect, you know, his edge and play post-flop. Modi, I have not eaten one shrimp stick today. I did, like I said before, I went to Sun Nung Dan. Jack 10 for Alexander. He is going to flop middle pair. Tianla's going to flop low pair here. Tianla's going to check over his action to the aggressor, Alexander. And Alexander's going to check back middle pair. And the 3 of clubs brings in a potential flush draw. Alex is going to start betting for value. Tianla is going to put in the call. The Jack is going to give Alexander 2 pair, but is also going to bring in that backdoor flush. I don't think Tianla is going to be able to hang on versus a bet here. Alex will go extremely small in position. Just trying to eke out every little last bit of value from an ace. And Tianla's gonna fold. Hey, Neuhunter. This is the final table of the mini main event, live at the Commerce Hotel and Casino in the majestic Commerce, California, the #1 place to live and be a human being, rated by Reader's Digest. You won't find a more beautiful place. Great place to raise your kids. A great place to think about raising your kids. Great place to shop. Great place to degen. You really have everything you need here. Alexander's going to pick up another pair yet again. He's going to raise it in the cutoff to 325. And that is going to get through. Excuse me, there still is one left to act. Magoo with the 7-5 off in the big blind. He is going to call. The general rule of thumb is that the shorter your stack gets, the wider you do have to call. And Alexander's going to flop a set, and Magoo's going to have a gut shot. And Alexander's decided to slow play and check this back in position, knowing that there's only 1.5 pot sizes left. He can easily, comfortably get this in. Now he's going to start betting for value. Is this small enough? Like 28% pot bet for Magoo to call. He says, no, I'm gonna hold on to my chips. Never seen anyone check back in their life on King 4-3. Players are pretty silent today, which is a pretty big departure from our cash games. I guess they're focused on winning today, which might be a little bit weird to you guys. Alex Lee, our head producers in the chat, all the way from South America. Alex, you still in South America, buddy? Magoo is going to move all in with his 9-6 of clubs from the small blind. Does George want to play with him with his Jack-5 of clubs? Does George want to take the gamble? He is in folding formation. He is going to let this one go. I'm wondering if George calls queen high there. Queen 5. Probably has to call off king 5. Magoo on the button again with ace 3 off. He is going to effectively jam again. He just has to hope to fade a better hand. That is not going to happen with George's ace-king. We could very well see another knockout right now. Magoo has to put in the call. He's going to be an 80-20 dog, but we've seen wilder things happen. Let's see if George can hang on with his ace-king. Knock out Magoo. Deuce, deuce, deuce.
One more deuce.
Magoo's calling for a deuce for a chop. Save a deuce or a 3 or a 7. Magoo's going to be eliminated, and he is. 5 left for a World Series of Poker circuit ring, which I believe is 24 karat gold.
Thank you.
Yeah, no. It's not. Yeah, thank you.
George now up to 7 million chips. He's gotten into second place, 47 big blinds. Alexander still has 56 after doubling through Tianla, who's now sitting at the bottom of the chart with only 4 million chips, 26 bigs. Still really long levels, relatively big stacks. And as you can see, anything can really happen. Tianla has received 10-8 of clubs in the cutoff. He's going to open it to 325,000 chips. And he is going to get that through. Tianla is just trusting his process, knowing that it's okay if he loses a big one or that he lost that big one. If he keeps taking these small pots, just playing in position, he is likely to chip up. Evan is going to let go his 10-3 suited on the button. And Alex has raised versus Michael's big blind. Michael's going to fold the 9 deuce. This is our classic and patented sky cam over here at Bally Poker Live. No one in the business has this sky cam. It's actually a satellite from about, I think it's like a few miles into space looking right down at the table. It's really ingenious technology. Space cam. It's called the Space Cam, the Bally Poker Live Space Cam. Now Tienla's going to get a walk. And Alexander's going to open in the cutoff with his Jack-10. Tienla has ace-9. He's looking down at his chips. Just a tad too deep to go all in with this. Is he thinking about 3-betting for smaller than all in? It looks like he is raising chips. And the bet is, I think, 1,075,000. Was that a backward symbol that I just heard? And Tienla's going to get Alexander to not defend his open there. And at this point, I really do like Tienla's style of play and his way of thinking. He's taking a lot of these really junky ace-X offhands, and he's simply just not folding them. Where most players would look at that and say, hey, I definitely can't call, so I have to fold. And he's saying, well, you know what? I definitely can't call, so I should probably 3-bet if I'm going to win this tournament and have to remain aggressive. And George is going to limp his Jack-3 offsuit. Evan is going to check his ace-4. Both of them are going to flop a pair. Evan right now with the best of it, with his pair of 4s versus George's pair of 3s. And that flop checked through. Let's see if Evan wants to protect any of his equity. He is going to bet just a scotch over one big blind. That's probably good enough to get value from a 3. George didn't limp to hit a 3 and then fold to 1 bet. That 10 is going to bring in a flush. Very few hands that Evan can actually get value from here. And he is reaching for chips. $500,000 into $800,000. It's a pretty clear value bet. Evan's sniffing out that George could just be a little bit worse, just a little bit worse. Evan knowing that a flush is very unlikely, a 10 is very unlikely, a 7 is very unlikely. He has the best 4. We haven't seen much aggression from George. Is this the time? Is this the time, George? At this point, I think he's taking too long to actually turn this into a bluff. George knows that he's playing up against a chip leader right now, that at one point he is going to have to make a stand. It looks like George is talking himself into a call, into his head. He is going to fold. Took him a while to figure it out, but he did get to the right decision. Well, one of the right decisions. I think that raising probably would have been better if he got to it about a minute more quickly. And at least Eric in the chat agrees. Evan's going to limp the 4 deuce in the small blind. Alexander's going to check his 8-4. Those special effects are brought to you by Jurassic Park. Both have flopped a 4. queen 4-3. 3 has paired the board on this turn. And checking through, they're both going to boat up. Evan's going to set this trap here. It's going to be a trap for naught. And Alexander keeps using these half-pot bet sizes with his value. I think if he goes bigger, a queen, if Evan were to have it, is going to call. This is not small enough to induce a raise. Evan is going to raise to 1.4 million. Alex is in a tough spot. Mostly because if he raises, he could probably a 3 is even going to fold at some frequency.
3 million.
But he is going to make it bigger. He's going to click it back. He really wants the 3 to call now. Evan checking again that he has a 4. Let's just chop this up, guys.
That was fun.
Yeah. I was like, please have a 3, please have a 3. Or don't have quads, please don't have quads.
Nobody bluffing.
And that's exactly what I thought was going through Alexander's head. Please have a 3, please have a 3.
Yeah, it's good.
Seven raised to 400,000. Faithful.
Blinds have now moved up to 200,000. And Evan has opened the king 9 suited. Michael has moved all in with ace queen. Evan's going to get out of the way. And Michael's just playing tight. He's playing tight. He's getting a hand that he believes is ahead of his villain's range, and he's ripping it. Alex is going to open his button with the King 7 offsuit. Michael got out of the way with Queen 9 offsuit, and Tianla's going to fold with his Jack 6 offsuit. And very different from the first 15 hands, these last 15 hands has been more what tournament poker is like. A bunch of garbage hands eking out little bits of value as best they can. And Evan in first position is going to raise with the King 6 suited. And George is going to pick up 2 aces. See exactly how he wants to play it. He does cover Evan in this hand. Evan started this hand with about 31 big blinds. Let's see if George makes it to a sizing where Evan could call here. About 1 million chips more. Evan's going to let that one go.
No. Yeah. My bottom.
And Tianla is going to min-raise his King 8 offsuit on the button. George is going to fold. Evan's going to fold. Michael's going to play. He's in first position with his Jack 8 of hearts. And Alexander's going to defend his big blind with the ace 3 offsuit with the ace of diamonds. Ace, Jack 5, a little something for everyone. Alexander once again has flopped the best hand. Michael is going to c-bet 400,000 into 1.1 million. Alex calls, and a jack has come on the turn to bail Michael out. He now has 3 jacks with 8 kicker. And he is going to check this one back. Alex sees that he probably can't get value from much of Michael's range right now. So he checks in the big blind. Michael will now be betting. And he's moved all in. He's moved all in for what is a big overbet. About 1.5x the size of the pot. It's not going to fool Alex. Michael wants to make him pay. He wants to find a part of their range where they have to call. But that move is not going to fool Alex whatsoever. George this time in the cutoff is going to raise his king 10. Evan right behind him on the button has ace king.
So we want to raise to 1 million.
1 million to go. George folds his king 10. You know, no one remaining in this tournament has really stepped out of line at all. Besides Tianla. And for him, besides the Jack 10 versus Ace 3 hand, he's greatly benefited from getting a little bit out of line. Evan's going to raise Ace 3. And Tianla this time on the big blind. He's going to make a decision. He's going to just call. Off to a flop. Jack, 8-7, 2 spades. Gut shot for Tianla. Let's see if Evan wants to bet this very highly connected Jack high flop. He does want to check back. This is a good time as ever for Tianla to start betting. But he too wants to try to realize equity and not get blown off his equity. Evan's going to check this back too. Ace is going to keep Evan's best hand, still the best hand. And they're going to get to showdown. I wasn't the biggest fan of Tianla not betting there. I surely would have bet. Yet at the same time, I'm not at this final table. And there's probably a reason for that. Queen 8 for Tianla is going to be good enough to raise from the small blind. George here has 10-8. And he's just going to fold this one right away. Which, I'm no chart wizard, but that seems like a pretty tight fold. Even a 3x. What was it, 22, 23 big blinds? I think a standard open is 3.5x off 22 big blinds. I'm not 100% sure. Going to hand 40. Alexander picking up ace 10 of diamonds. Raised in first position. Min raised to 400,000 chips. Evan behind him once again picking up what is pretty much the nuts. In the big blind, just elects to call. And he does flop top pair, top kicker. A very disconnected board, which Alexander decides to c-bet. Evan really has two options. Flat call if he thinks that Evan is going to... Sorry, Evan has two options. Flat call if he thinks that Alexander's going to go for it or raise. If he thinks that Alexander's never bluffing 3 streets in his life, he's going to go with the latter.
25.
Just hoping to cooler Alexander's hand. Michael is raised here with 9-8, and everyone has 9-8. George folds his 9-6. Alexander does not defend his big blind with Queen 4 offsuit. And Michael's just going to hang in there. Just staying around average despite not playing many hands. The main reason, Wendell, in the YouTube chat, why I did not make the final table is because I don't play poker. Don't know the rules. George has folded the Jack Deuce, which has given Evan the opportunity to raise his button with Queen 6 offsuit. Michael's going to defend his Jack 4 of hearts. Evan, meanwhile, has taken the chip lead. Ace Queen 5. Evan's going to improve again when he didn't need to improve. This is going to get Michael to fold pretty quickly. And there he goes. Michael is out of the way with his Jack 4. I like Michael. He doesn't waste any time. He's like, you know what? I didn't hit this one. There's an ace out there. This guy's pretty good from what people tell me. I'm just going to fold. Kiwi Special, what are you having for dinner? And Max Blem, I just broke into the commentator booth and I just started talking. Sure, nitty nuts. This tournament is the mini main event of the WSOPC live at Commerce, California. 5-5-7 is the flop. Small blind versus big blind. I believe Michael has limped in. Tianla has raised him. Tianla has now c-bet 450,000 into a pot of 1.6 million. There we go, Michael. He's taking some backdoor equity, and he's finally making a stand. I really, really like this. Tianla has seen Michael at the table, knows he's playing tight, pretty straightforward. This is out of the box. This is a 3x raise. This should be big enough to get Tianla to fold the better hand. Unless Tianla can just look into Michael's soul here. Wow, Tianla knows. He knows something that the rest of us can only see on screen. Can this even be a profitable call? It sounds like it really just could be a rip. He has decided to call. This is pretty wild. It's the 9 of spades on the turn. Let's see if Michael decides to shut down. He does. He checks it over to Tianla. And look at King High go. I knew after the first orbit this guy was going to be my favorite player. And even though he did have the best hand, I thought that was a very, very heads-up play. Tianla has now jumped back into second place. Zach Sandberg, looks like Evan's brother, is in the chat. Really? You don't know what you're listening to? He's never explained it to you? Yeah, Tianla's good. Jeremy Hammy says in the chat that Tianla a few hours ago gave me a sick 3-outer with King High, and he seems like a guy who's really good at hitting 3-outers. Like, I wouldn't even mess with him whatsoever. Michael now has picked up the ace-king on the button. There we go again. See, we have everyone's insides mic'd up. It brings a new element to, the poker live stream. Tianla has 3-bet the Jack 4 suited from the small blind. It's not going to be the right time to do it, unfortunately. Can only imagine that Michael's going to move all in. George is going to lament his hand. give it a small funeral. And Michael has moved all in. And just with 1.2 million left to call, I don't think Tianla has to win this that much. 1.7 million to call. Oh, and he says he's just toast. At this point, Tianla just wants to conserve some chips, not take what's probably a mathematically fine flip. Michael has gotten out of the way with ace-6 offsuit in late position. Yeah, Eric, I would have called too. That's probably also why I wouldn't 3-bet the tightest player at the table in that spot. Unless I think they're overfolding. Michael opens now in first position with Jack-8. See, George knows. He's just going to get out of the way, even though he has Michael dominated. Michael's image is very tight. It means that he can deviate slightly. He tried to do it against Tianla. It did not work. Evan is just going to flat call here from the small blind with a 7-6 of clubs. Alexander, do you want to squeeze? You do not. Evan's going to flop open-ended with a flush draw. And Michael's going to flop second pair. And now we have Evan leading out here from the small blind. And if he's going to play a lot of a heavy three-bet strategy, these are probably the hands. This is the board that's going to hit for Evan's range. Just also happens to be that he has a hell of a lot of equity in this hand. Now he's going to complete his flush. The deuce of clubs does come in. All he can wish right now is that Michael's a little bit stronger than second pair. Evan is going to continue betting his flush. Michael is going to defend his second pair here. He is drawing absolutely dead. 3.6 million in the pot. This could be a disaster for Michael. He has just rivered 2 pair. Let's see if Evan wants to move all in for more than pot. He is going to bet. There's only 800,000 chips. It's a very small block bet with this flush. And he gets a call from Michael, obviously, for that sizing. Evan's going to win this $5.2 million pot. He's going to jump out in front. The seesaw battle continues. Evan now has almost a 2x chip lead over everyone. It's a very unfortunate spot for everyone else to be in. The pro with the most cashes, with the most experience, now has a 2-1 chip lead. George has raised in the cutoff. And Evan is going to keep his foot on the gas. And Evan is going to have a really, really easy time at the 5 remaining players if no one puts their foot down. And we'll see where George is at in his thought process with what he does here, likely knowing that Evan is taking advantage of him and really not being able to do much about it. Not saying that Evan's out of line, 3-betting King Jack off. It's completely fine, right? But I think Evan also knows that George isn't going to do much about it. He's not going to face many 4-bets. And if he's not going to face many 4-bets, then he can 3-bet with impunity. Now Evan gets rewarded from the gods with his good play. He has ace-ace in the cutoff. Everyone's going to give him a walk here. Unless Tianlo really loves the Octo Crab. Nope, not a fan. Thought so. Evan now is in a commanding lead. He's going to want to maintain control of the action as much as possible. The worst thing that could happen is that he doesn't knock the next player out. He doesn't want George to double up through through Alexander, or Michael's all in with Queen 10. Only 800,000 more to call. Evan is dominated.
Yeah, 1.325.
And he knows the math is good, but it's such a bad hand, especially against Michael.
Okay, blinds up. 150 and 250. And 50. Yeah. Yes, correct.
The blinds have been raised again. The stacks are growing shorter. The pressure is on. Michael is going to have to make something happen very shortly, or his night will be over.
Now I. Take those 354.
Michael is open ripped for just under 10 big blinds. Evan in the big blind with King Jack offsuit. And he's just going to fold. Evan is completely fine with letting Michael, play the string out. It's pretty common that when a player thinks he has or does have a post-flop edge against their opponent, they're less likely to take flips and gamble because it's just not worth it to them. Evan right now is right where he wants to be. In the small blind with 9-5. He's going to waste no time. He's going to raise. Good enough to play, not good enough to just limp. And he has raised into Alexander's ace-king. That is going to be enough to get Evan a fold to 9-5. And on we go. Hand number 52, loading. And Alexander's doing just enough to outpace the rest of them behind Evan. Tianlo in first position with 5-4 suited folds. Evan has gotten away from 10-5 on the button. And Alexander is just going to limp here. Michael has queen deuce. Michael has just about 10 big blinds left. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is just bad. This is bad for the game. 2 pair versus 2 pair. Top 2 versus top and bottom. Michael is going to bet. Save a 2 coming. This is going to be the end of Michael's tournament. Let's see when Alexander wants to get the money in. He's just going to flat. Oh, Michael. Michael with a magical 2-outer, boats up. This is unfair. This is wild. Ace on the river is not going to help Alexander. And Alexander knows that he's blocking everything but a deuce right now. A 1 big blind bet. And we have an all-in. And Alexander just knows how sick it is. Just knows how sick it is. There is no way that Alexander wants to give Michael any of his chips. Let's see if Alexander could arrive at the right decision here. Also, any ace now beats him. Makes it a little bit easier. We're looking at a fold. He's in folding form. Nice fold. A little bit of a eulogy for his hand, rightfully so, because he flopped the nuts. But not that long of a drawn-out funeral for that hand. Pretty pro move there by Alexander, letting it go, recognizing the right situation. Just think about it there. He's on the flop, and he just, oh, I just want to get I just want to crush you. I want to demolish you. And then that run out happening. Fifth place is going to take home $18,000. And the stacks are evening, except for Evan, of course, on top with 11 million chips. Evan picks up King Jack offsuit in the cutoff. Michael has moved all in with Ace King of diamonds. 3.6 million chips. Evan folds again. When is it going to start getting to Evan? When is it going to gnaw at him? To the point where he finally puts in a call. My guess he's never going to break from his read or his strategy or from the math. Knowing that Michael's just moving in really, really strong. But Michael, with the surreptitious, that was the word, surreptitious deuce on the turn, now is evening his stack with the rest of the players behind Evan. Kiwi, you know what? I really like you because you're always rooting for the underdog. I love that about you. Let's see if that can come to fruition, if Michael can make a stand and come back. It's going to fold around to George. He has king high with a 4. Somewhere around 15 big blinds. Does he really want to play this one out of position versus Evan, who's going to be aggressive against him? Evan has raised. It's going to get George out of the way. And at this point, Evan is just operating with no remorse. He sees the title. He sees the ring in his eyes. He's going to take advantage of George at every turn possible. Yeah, Eric, I think it's just a good raise because he likely knows that George is not trapping anything. If George would call a raise, he's probably raising himself. He's probably splitting his range way too much. Michael now has pocket 9s. And it's not just that it's the chip leader, it's that Evan's pretty aggressive, right? Especially at this stage in the tournament, he's very aggressive. You know, so if you're going to realize more equity versus a very passive player, you could play out of position all you want. And George has ripped this. 3.675 million. Alexander wakes up behind with pocket jacks, and he is going to put in the call. Now over to Michael, who has the decision. Michael has gotten out of the way. George is going to need a 10, only a 10. Who is at risk here? George is at risk. He needs a king. King in the window. Jesus. And Alexander is just taking a beating these last few hands. He's going to need a jack. Only a jack is going to help him. And that jack does not come. Alexander once in such a prime position to battle for this chip lead, and possibly this ring, is now down to less than 10 big blinds. He's sitting on 1.5 million chips. George is going to chip up to 8.25 million chips. And to tell you the truth, if anyone was going to pick up chips, Evan definitely wishes that George did it. Because Evan has had a number on George the entire night. But now that they're deeper, 30 big blinds plus. Let's see if George can fight back any bit of the way. He's going to need to if he wants to beat Evan. George is just counting his lucky stars right now. Alexander knows that he's going to need a double up. I mean, Alexander's looking at it. He's thinking to himself, I've had all of these premium hands. You know, or relatively premium hands. You know, 5-handed pocket fours, 5-handed pocket fives. All these hands that he's willing to go with. And just getting beaten up by the deck. And here comes another. Let's see what Evan does. Does he want to call just because he's suited? See, okay, so what Evan's doing is he's taking his offsuit hands and he's 3-betting them. He's taking his suited hands and he's calling and playing them in position because he believes he has an edge. He is going to flop the worst of it, though, because George, Miracle Run George, is King Jack 2-pair. This one's going to be fun. George's going to waste no time. He's going to bet into Evan, who's in position with aces, with a pair of aces, excuse me. Evan has no choice here. Cannot fold, cannot raise. 4 diamonds is going to give Evan a little bit of sweat. He needs an ace, a 4, or a diamond, or a 9. Can only imagine that George is going to keep his foot on the gas. He is going to check this back. Seeing Evan play, I don't see him actually betting. Let me think about this. He knows he's never going to get check raised. He does check back here. And George is still going to have the best hand, and he has to value bet. Do not let this happen. Make Evan make a mistake of overcalling rather than forcing him to bet when you have a stronger range. I can't believe what I just saw.
Didn't want to keep leaning on me?
Yeah, not in that situation.
You have a moment, you want to give me 4 barrels of the red?
Sure.
As you have left.
Yeah, pick one.
I guess everyone in the chat, we all did not like that play by George. It's really, really, really hard to win poker tournaments when you can't get value. I think he just overthought the situation too much. In a different meta, I mean, so much could have happened. I don't know if that's a lock it up. He literally said afterwards, Eric, he said right afterwards, he said, "You're not going to keep leaning on me?" All right, let's see if George can do something with his newfound chips. Going from worst to first. Alexander is all in with 1.35 million chips with King 9 offsuit.
Looks like what? Alex, come on, baby. 1.35 probably.
Tienla has ace jack. This should be a snap call. Oh, but he's in the small blind. He is all in.
Show me aces, love. Nope.
George praying for aces
Ace jack.
after getting 2 huge gifts. A little greedy. Let's see if Alexander can improve. He needs a king or a 9, or he will be eliminated in 5th place. 753 is of no help. And there comes the ace of spades on the turn. Alexander, unfortunate, is going to be eliminated. He's going to take home $18,000. Tienla's going to chip up a little bit. Just a little bit of extra ammo for the inevitable fight that's going to happen. And Michael has laddered up. Yeah, great run for Alexander. Probably, or I would say definitely the most unlucky person at the table today. Tienla's on the button. Ace deuce. We are four-handed. He will min open here to 500,000 chips. George is going to get out of the way. And Evan has begun thinking. He is just going to complete here with his King 10 offsuit. Queen high flop with a 6 and a 5. No players have much of anything, except both have a couple of backdoor draws. And it goes check, check. Evan has turned this king. And now Tienla is going to start bluffing into top pair. 600,000 to go. Evan has to decide on this double flush draw board, will Tianla keep on bluffing? Is this good enough to raise for value? Those are the two questions that I would be asking myself. And there comes a jack on the river. Tianla should know that he has a very, very small amount of showdown value. That even with ace high, he should be bluffing, or it's a clear give up. He has bet again. Oh no, we're still on the turn. Evan is wondering what to do here. Oh yeah, the jack did come on the river. Tianla decided to bluff for way less. I'm not 100% sure why Evan took so long to call, except for the fact that he must have been thinking about raising. And we're looking at the chip count now. Evan, 47 big blinds. George, 37 big blinds. Everyone reaching for that first place of $77,000. George on the button is going to open. Evan's going to get out of the way. Michael has the 10 deuce suited. Wants to play a while. To the flop, king 7-5. This board is about as dry and disconnected as one gets. Michael's going to fold his 10 high. This is just a grueling waiting game. When you're waiting for good cards. It's a game of very, very small edges. Michael has picked up King Queen offsuit in the small blind. He has moved all in for 3.4 million chips. Tianla's going to get out of the way. Quick fold with the 10 deuce offsuit.
Evan raised to 500,000. 9-4.
Evan now will min raise with his ace-6 offsuit. Tianla's in the small blind with queen 10 offsuit. He knows four-handed and with the chip lead just how wide Evan can be. Let's see if he gets frisky. I don't think he can just make a call. Looks like he is going to 3-bet for less. Less than all in, that is.
2 raises. 1.325 million. 5 folds.
And Tianla's going to get Evan's ace to fold. And Tianla's just finding ways to stay in this match. To tell you the truth, I'm not even sure that he's going to be 3-betting anyone that light besides Evan.
9 folds.
Just knowing that the other players are not opening wide enough. Tianla's on the button again with queen 6 of diamonds.
2 raises. 500,000.
George seems to be thinking about the Jack 5. Maybe he has some plans of his own. But we've seen this from George a lot. Call would be terrible here.
5 folds.
We've seen this exact configuration.
7 calls.
With Evan on the big blind, he's just going to call with his king 10 offsuit. And he's going to flop a king again. Evan's really good at flopping or turning the cards he needs. Not that he needed a king, but it would be very hard for him to continue without any sort of pair.
2 bets. 350,000.
And Tianla c-bets on this king high board, on this double Broadway board, with a flush draw, with queen high, 6 kicker. And Evan's just going to take his time. He's going to milk the situation. This time he's going to cut out raising chips with all the draws on board that likely cannot fold. Meaning that if Tianla has, ace-x of clubs, queen 9, queen 10, he just wants to deny that equity right now. Even with a hand as strong as top pair, try to get it in on the turn. Tianla has clicked it back. 3-bet. 2 round 2 million. 2.2 million. And you see the demon face on Tianla. Can he muscle Evan out of this pot with sheer will?
All in.
And it is not going to work. Evan has moved all in with the king 10. Tianla just has no choice but to fold here. And I understand that move there from Tianla because we have seen out of position Evan really protecting his checking range or his passive range, his check call range a lot. So I can see that Tianla thought to himself that maybe just this time he's weak. But I don't think he read the board texture exactly the same how Evan read it. Vanessa Ramos in the YouTube chat is rooting for you, Alex.
All in.
Evan has put Michael all in with his 8-6, but he has run into the queens of Michael.
Nice playing with you.
There's a 6. If Evan gets a club, he's going to win this. A 6, a club, an 8. This is the worst flop for Michael. King of spades is no help to Evan. This is a pretty big fade for Michael. Can he fade it and get up to 7.5 million chips? And Evan's just counting his lucky stars. Good game, Michael. You really laddered up. Very impressive. Got out of some tricky spots.
Felt like a flip, I'm not gonna lie.
Crazy.
That's how I've been running lately.
One big blind.
And Evan
Look at the jam.
likely now has a big chip lead. All he has to do is dispatch Tianla and then have his way with George.
Yeah. Sweet.
And Evan now has king queen.
All in.
Fellas all in.
And he has put Tianla all in. Tianla folds.
Real hand this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dead button.
Yeah, it's
Dead
a
button.
Dead button. Dead button. Sorry. Small blind.
Yeah.
That's the picture there of the beautiful World Series of Poker rings, and that is a video of the beautiful Tianla on his very last little bit of a tank of gas on his last legs.
Okay, got it.
Okay, that's this hand going on break. 10-minute break. Doesn't fold.
All in.
Who's all in?
Once again, Tianla has moved all in.
Yeah.
George just has to call,
But 1.8.
and let's run
That's
this.
fine. I don't know what I'm thinking about.
1.8. Oh, okay. Got all in the call, right?
Yeah.
Tienla's tournament life is at stake. Queen 9 offsuit versus Ace 4 suited for only a handful of big blinds. He's going to need a 10, a 9, or a queen just to stay alive. 4 is going to give trips for George.
One time.
One time. He wants a 10.
Okay.
The 10 does not come. We are down to heads up.
How long is that break?
2 players left
I could use 10. Yeah. You want to like move over there?
for this ring, for this WSOP ring.
Whatever. Let me go,
Evan versus George.
and then we can figure it out. I've been holding
Tienla goes out in third place.
We're in 10 minutes.
Do you want
Well fought. I really liked his style.
Yeah. I could do it.
Ultimately,
Yeah.
I think that's 10, right?
he got out of line a little bit too much at the wrong times, and the aggression could not help him.
All right, Eric, right here.
We are going to take a little break. I will be back in a couple minutes to give you the lowdown if you're just joining us. If you've been watching or you just started watching, please hit the like, hit the subscribe, comment, say anything you want in the comments. This is your space. Watch these highlights. I'll be back in 5. Now we're heads up for the ring.
Yeah. All right. Good luck, man.
Good luck, guys.
We are back for this heads-up match for $75,000 and a World Series of Poker Circuit Ring here at Bally Poker Live at the Commerce Hotel and Casino. I am joined with a very special commentating guest for this heads-up match. None other, let me introduce Hank the Tank.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Let's watch some sick heads up. Let's go. Jack 10 deuce, 2 hearts.
I'm going to say this right now. My prediction is that George is going to need to continue his luck to win this one. He's just about a 1.5 to 1 dog. He's going to need to pull some rabbits out of his hat to beat Evan, who has not made a misstep all night.
And Evan lets it go.
He lets the king high go. In the big important decisions, Evan has not made a misstep yet. And for George to win this, he's going to need Evan to do so.
I mean, if I was in George's seat, it would feel really nice to flop a gut shot, you know, with 7-8, and he did.
If I were George there, I would say, hey, I definitely have enough equity to keep betting, right?
It's just a little bit of comfort, heads up, right?
Knowing that you could get a strong hand, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it is definitely nice.
Very hard to hit a pair, heads up.
It's very hard to hit a pair in poker, regardless of how many people are playing.
Yeah. Shout out to Kiwi Special in the chat. What's up? How we doing? Been some fun.
It's been a fun Sunday night.
Tournament, kind of rainy LA night. You know, it's. I'm so happy we can be here and watch some sick plays.
I do love LA in the rain. Wow. Do we really have a 5x raise here from George?
He loves the suited connector, 6-5 of hearts.
And Evan is just going to play this offsuit hand, this offsuit ace in position. He knows that he's going to print in position. He does flop middle pair.
Here we go, Bucky. Both players now flopping a pair. Let's play some poker.
Let's see what George... See, this is tricky, right? George flops some showdown value, so he wants to get at it really cheap. Do you think Evan's ever going to let him get to any river cheaply?
No.
No.
This is a mandatory bet. Oh. Wants to do a little pot control. Also fine.
Well, it's fine because he's, you know, not getting value from much, right? Just a 6, which George happens to have here. But also, Evan's like, I have a 9 here. I have the nuts. And he raised and then checked to me. Like, I have the nuts. He's like, he's so good.
George with a gut shot.
And now I expect Evan to bet because some draws have opened up. Any 8, any 10, any 5, right?
Yeah. He checks
But
it again.
He does check again.
Just wants to get the showdown with his 9. I can't blame him.
Yeah, he says, I have the nuts. I have a 9.
I have the nuts. I have the best 9.
I have
the best pair of 9s you could possibly have ever in this spot. Let me get to showdown. Let me get some chips.
Like he's always good, except for a hand like, you know, a random King X of diamonds or something.
And Evan having checked every street. Does he want to take a stab now, Bucky?
I'm not 100% sure. He has to think that George has some showdown value, and that's why he didn't bet. So he could target a 6, but
and there's the check, and gets the showdown. He gets what he wanted.
I think that big of a raise versus Evan's limp, Evan was like, well, what are you doing this with? Like some sort of pair? Like some sort of like pocket 7s or something? Like, there could be a time when George has pocket tens there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Evan doesn't want to put any more money in the middle. I
mean,
think,
kudos to George there. Also, just checking those streets as well, not blasting off. He has a pair. He has a gut shot. Could totally have started bluffing at any point, but he gets away
Right.
easy there and gets a showdown with a pair, and that
it's definitely good, except for the fact when Evan is checking back, he should know that his pair is not good. Because either Evan's checking back because he has something, right? Likely that beats bottom pair. So if Evan's betting, then you can start thinking about, oh, can I actually beat any bluffs, right? So it's heads up is definitely a wild format of poker. But yeah, he made that raise and then got away from it cheaply.
Yeah. There's the ring. This is what we're fighting for at this table. Some hardware.
This is what we're all fighting for. Are those time chips or are those big chips?
Those are big chips. Those are plaques.
Those are big plaques that are what? $1 million? They have to be $1 million, right?
They're $1 million each.
Mm-hmm.
Each plaque.
They gave them all to
$1 million
Evan?
in chips.
They gave them all to Evan?
They colored the chips up. So
yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Evan needed more change.
Yes, he did.
What's up, everyone in the Twitch chat as well? YouTube chat. Thank you so much for joining us here for the mini main event. $600 buy-in, $400K guarantee.
They blasted through the guarantee by $100,000, over $100,000.
Beautiful. That's the goal, right? Set a good guarantee where you can blast the roof.
Mm-hmm. Just always
get into that gravy baby territory.
Mm-hmm. Evan is going to flop a gut shot, double gut shot. George has middle pair here.
Backdoor diamonds working as well for Evan. He's going to bet.
Mm-hmm. George is not going to go anywhere with his middle pair. He's also blocking some draws.
Also, big shout out to Eric C. 1484. He's been watching the stream from the beginning.
Eric C. is awesome. He has been pretty much telling me what to say.
Seeing the whole story, seeing the roller coaster that is tournament poker, and Eric C. is playing the main event. So good luck. Good luck to everyone in the chat. Clubs working very well. George's favor here.
Yeah, George has this all but locked up.
There's the club. And if Evan decides to bluff here to represent a big flush, could put George in a tough spot, Bucky. George checks it over, has a baby flush. Evan with dust.
I don't know what Evan's going to do here. Part of me thinks that he's just going to give up, though we haven't seen him do a lot of it.
Man, you can just feel George's heart beating just watching that close-up, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, and like heads up for a ring, it's just like the gravity of the room, it just sucks you in.
3.6 million over bet.
Evan does decide to bluff.
He says, this is a really good time where I do not think that my opponent has a club in his hand.
Evan with the heart.
3.6?
Now,
3.6.
We've seen Evan get to the river with these really, really passive lines with an ace, right? So pretty much what he's saying is that I did the same exact thing. I have the ace here. I can get here with an ace. You probably can't. with the ace of clubs, that is, right?
Right. I mean,
And that you have to fold.
you have to fold any flush you have here that isn't the ace or the king, right? I mean, if you want to take a stab there. But Evan putting the pressure on George. George in a tough spot.
And he's also saying, like, F you, George, you really have not taken a stand
Right.
versus me all night, and I'm
Yeah.
going to continue to do this. So there's this really, really important part of the night where, remember when George had 2-pair with King Jack on Ace King Jack, and Evan had an ace, and he bet and then checked twice. He said to him after, "Oh, you're not going to keep leaning on me," right? That's what George said to Evan, and it's like completely different situations, right? But George has it in his head that the best way that he could beat Evan is to get him to bluff, right? To induce bluffs, and that's by checking strong hands.
Right.
Where it's like, hey, you have a flush, buddy. This is as strong as you're going to get in this spot.
Does
right?
George want to make a stand here? Put a lot of chips in the middle.
Let's go, George.
With a marginally strong hand. He has a flush. It's not the nuts, but in a way his hand improved a lot from just a pair of nines.
And at this point, Evan just knows, right, that he's getting a mid-sized flush to fold.
Evan wanting to fold out 10
Anything.
of clubs, jack of clubs, anything. Evan trying to steal the pot. George is he's mulling it over through his chips. I mean, he looked away. He's looking back at his chips. He's doing inventory. He's back and forth.
He's just saying to himself, I'm going to look so stupid when he flips over the ace of clubs. It's just like, that's what's going, that fear is just running through George's head. Or maybe it's like, oh, what if he has the king of clubs? That's going to hurt too. And we look like we're in folding formation from George. This might just work. I think Evan is just in George's head at this point.
And the chat is agreeing with me. Evan showing a lot of heart here. Taking a big line on this 4-club board. George mulling it over.
And he's so cool with the decision because he's like, I sort of know he's not going to do anything about it.
Oh, there's a call!
George!
There's the call!
There we go, George.
Hello!
George is coming back. Huge call from George. I take back all my words from before. George, amazing call with a 7-high flush.
George, tired of being bullied by the chip leader, makes a stand, scoops a giant pot with a baby flush. What a hand.
I have been waiting all night for George to do something exactly like that.
150, 300.
He finally had the gumption.
Look who has more plaques. George has more plaques.
George has mad plaques.
It's a
now.
plaque off.
Let's go.
You can quote me on that. Wow. What a hand. What a call. We are talking about the big-hearted bluff from Evan. George, he just outshines him in that moment, making the hero call with the baby flush.
Completely
Back
disrespectful sort of bluff from Evan, who didn't even try, to bluff on the turn.
Counts
right?
his
Or the
chips.
flop.
Easy come, easy go. If you have it, you have it. Puts the chips in the middle, is rewarded.
And George takes the chip lead. He now is in a pair versus pair situation where he has the best of it with the 10 deuce.
3 bets, 450,000.
Rest in peace to Doyle Brunson. Mm-hmm. Where would we be without Doyle? I'd be playing a lot less 10 deuce.
Yeah, probably just
Probably would just fold that hand.
Yeah,
But
oh,
okay.
Double check.
Now, I don't expect George to overvalue his hand even on this absolute brick. I see him checking this back.
The 7-3, the almost octo crab, we call it.
Yep, it's almost octo
It's
crab.
the almost octo crab, binking the turn, 7-3, 2 pair.
And there he checks back. His
George
weak
does
top
not take
pair.
the bait.
4 is going to not help George whatsoever. And now Evan just has to bet, right? He just has to bet and get called by top pair.
I'd love a half pot bet.
I think he's going to go 40%, maybe even more, half.
I think 750,000 would do the trick. Wouldn't you say, Bucky?
I think he's going to, well, if you think about it, right? He just got caught bluffing, massive size, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where does that work into the meta of what he thinks George thinks about him, right? So if he goes big again, like massive again, could George be like, oh, he's just doing this and he's tilted? Yep, there you go.
Oh, big bet.
That's what Evan is banking on, that he's doing it twice. It's like, what hands can he have
Oh,
here?
man, putting George in another tough spot. Now, will George bluff catch again incorrectly?
No.
What a fascinating dynamic.
This is what George has been doing. He's been checking back these hands to call, right? And Evan's like, oh, you're going to call? George knows that if he gets this situation right, he is a massive favorite to win this one. He just called with a 7-high flush, and the board just bricked out twice. Evan has taken these crazy lines. Super passive and then massive overbet. Can George sniff this one out? He's going to take his time again to think about this one.
You want the blacks back or do you want black chips?
George with some table talk.
A little bit.
Coming alive, waking up.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't think it's going to have the intended effect.
Yeah, I wouldn't engage with me either, honestly.
How can you fold top pair here? That's what he's thinking to himself. To a dude who just overbet bluffed me. Gave a little bit of table talk, tried to get some read. Evan's not giving off anything.
You have like Jack 6?
This is usually when someone starts hero calling, when they start calling off someone's bluffs, the bluffs that they could have. It's not a good sign for George. Let's see if he can pull out the magic again. He does call. He's going to see that he has the worst hand. And after that big hero call before, Evan has read the meta right. Knowing that if George thinks the only way he's going to win is if he lets Evan bluff. Evan is just a stone cold wall. Just imagine bluffing off that many chips and the very next hand doing the same exact thing, using the last hand to your advantage. Just a very, very skilled, well thought out river decision. I think a lot of people there would say to themselves, I don't think they'd call off another bet that big on the river. but Evan just knew his customer. Really, really fantastic play. And now the scales have tipped again, haven't they, Hank?
They have. The pendulum is in full effect.
I mean, George had a little bit of daylight, just a little bit of daylight, and Evan gave it to him. Immediately after, Evan's just like, screw this. I'm taking it right back.
Yeah, I mean, his aggression is paying off. Now raising with 69 offsuit in position. George with a real one, though. Pair of sixes. Deciding whether to call or raise.
Are we still at 250 or are we at 300?
I think we're just about to go up.
Yeah, so Evan's raising pretty big on the button, right? For a bunch of different reasons. One, they're a little bit deeper. Two, he wants more fold equity with his, bad hands. So he's like 9-6. And three, he's in position. And when he flops, his three outer.
Man.
He just wants to have more money in the pot when he's in position. So he's just raising bigger than 2x.
So Evan played ace-9 very passively, got paid. Is he going to play 69 with a pair of nines aggressively here?
I think that this is going to be a pretty standard bet on a monotone board. And George is going to do the same exact thing. Hope he hits a flush and then try to bluff catch. And Evan's going to say to himself, how many 4 to flush boards am I going to get?
Yeah.
Like, can't you just make it easy for me? And the answer is no.
Just these dynamic boards heads up. It creates a lot of conflict post-flop.
There it is.
There it is.
George is going to be bailed out again after Evan got bailed out by the flop. I'm really interested to see. I mean, Evan's going to check back here, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm interested to see if he goes.
There's
Everyone's got a flush, but George has the best flush. And let's see. One, he might not want a hero call again, right? He might be like, screw this.
Right.
I just want to bet. I want to bet out. I want to block. Right? And if he raises, I probably can fold.
George is going to block. Evan will fold. Next hand.
No. I think Evan.
You think Evan's going to bluff again?
I think he could, right? But he is going to block this.
Chat is saying Evan's going to bluff again. There's the blocker bet.
950. Yeah, now I think...
Great sizing from George.
Well, it's good, but I think he's going to get Evan a fold. Yeah.
There we go.
So, yeah, it was a good decision that he didn't have to face a harder decision later.
Yeah.
I guess that's good, right?
Saving himself a little mental anguish.
Mm-hmm. Because if he went smaller, there's a good chance that Evan could raise him. If he went bigger, he's only getting called by flushes, right? What I was interested to see there is if George checked that river, would now Evan try to get it into his head and now go half pot with a bluff?
Right.
Right? Instead of over betting for a bluff.
We're at hand number 75, heads up for the Commerce mini main event. A ring event, ring in the middle.
And those rings look nice.
Oh, yeah. They're polished. They're clean. And you're adding...
We got a guy who polishes them.
Yeah, we got a...
Well, I mean,
we got
Wsop has got a guy that sends a guy.
We got a ring guy.
Yeah, we got a ring guy.
But just adding yourself to Just what a list. What a list of WSOP ring event winners.
You think you keep it in the box? You think you wear it around? Would you wear it to the dailies?
Oh man, that would be funny. That would be really funny.
I would wear it on my pinky toe.
I feel like there's no in between. Either you wear it every tournament you play in the future, or you just never wear it and it's kept in a box and you look at it and you the ladies for Evan.
The girls for Evan.
On the button. Evan's got game.
George has 8s. We could end this right now. Wow. This could all be over right now.
2 big pairs.
Does George really want to play a mid pair out of position versus Evan? Does he really just want to start putting money into the pot? I think
There's
went all
the
in.
All in.
Oops.
Evan has called.
Oops.
George has oops.
Oops announced.
Evan's going to win this unless an 8 comes. Just a massive jam. George, I'll give it to him. He did not want to play his 8s out of position versus Evan. Evan is 5 cards away from a ring and $75,000. Can he fade the 8 or the diamonds? 7, 3, deuce. 2 cards away from the mini main event win.
Evan with a hammerlock on this hand. 2 more cards. Turn is safe. Only an 8 can save George's tournament life. Dealer, let's see a river.
Ace on the river. Evan is the champion. He will don the ring.
He's got 10, 11.
George has been eliminated in second place. He will take home $50,000. Evan found the right spot at the right time. Just a massive pot. And George just ran into it. Really valiantly fought by George.
Really fun heads up, really dynamic heads up, fast plays. You know, I mean, just, oh, look at that. And look at that sportsmanship. Just,
it's always good, a little sportsmanship.
Great sportsmanship all around. George fought very hard, made that hero call with the baby flush and was correct, and just ran into queens there with a pocket pair. I mean, what else can you do with pocket 8s heads up, right? I mean, you're going to go for it. George went for it, and he did not get there. But well played, and congratulations to Evan, our winner. Let's take a look at the payouts. Norman, Yalia, David all fought valiantly. Magoo, Alexander, Michael, everybody, John Lee, everybody just played so well today. It was just such great poker and excellent tournament plays made by all. We're going to get this winner's photo set up. Bucky, well done. Thanks for holding it down.
You too, bud. I mean, this was a fun little detour from our normal events of D-Gen cash game, deep stack poker.
I kind of forward because it's just like,
you know, it's good to see people just, you know, taking it seriously and not talking. You know, and I think it's just as entertaining.
Yeah.
You know, in a different way, obviously.
We're going to take a look at the final rollout here.
Yeah, I think I've gotten better at
And look at these bust outs here.
Norman was the first to go down. Busted by Tianles. Ace.
There's our winner, Evan. Congratulations.
Really good.
The winner of the mini main event, the owner of that ring, is now Evan.
And I believe there's still 15 rings up for grabs?
There are still many ring events here at Commerce during the World Series of Poker, Los Angeles circuit. Come on down. I mean, the buy-ins are just so incredibly reasonable, and the structure for the main event is just going to be incredible. So just come on down.
What's the buy-in for the main event? Is it 17 or 3? I mean, you know what? I got my handy little sheet.
We got the handy dandy notebook right here.
Oh, it's just 1K.
Just $1,000.
Just 1K, and let me tell you guys,
a great prize pool.
If you guys don't know this already, right? We have a hotel special here at the Commerce. $149.99 plus tax includes complimentary valet parking and 2 complimentary bottles of water in the guest room.
2 complimentary bottles of water.
You're not going to beat that
more
value.
hydrated?
You can't beat the value that they offer here at the Commerce Hotel and Casino. Not to mention, it's the most beautiful city in America, Commerce.
Good night.
Thank you and good night.
Good day.